Welcome to another edition of Bearcats All Access. I'm your host, Marshall Kramsky. UC, fresh off the bye week, getting ready for a brawl right here at Nippert Stadium against the West Virginia Mountaineers coming up in just a little bit. Plus, linebacker Jake Galday, he's been a dog for the Bearcats this season. He joins the show, and we hear about his basketball background. All that, plus the Cincinnati Bearcats men's basketball team, all the hype, meeting it in their first game of the season. Bearcats All Access, all that and so much more coming up right now.
Bearcats All Access, sponsored by All Good Home Improvements.
So heading into West Virginia, how much do you study up or teach your team about the history of this matchup?
Not a ton, to be honest. I think obviously there's history there, and there's some back and forth, been some great games over the years. But I think it's such a new era now in college football with a lot of players going here, going there. We actually have a player this year from West Virginia that played there last year. I mean, so I think, but for us, particularly at this point in the season where, it's 1 week at a time, and what can we do to get an edge to be able to go out here and win this game?
Last week we talked so much about how these bye weeks are really important for your players to get healthy, get ready for the final stretch of the season. Physically for sure, but that mental being here and now, how much does a bye week help with that?
Oh man, it helped a lot. Particularly as it's a long ways we had to go. We played very late, didn't get back here till the sun was coming up Sunday morning. Had some guys dinged up. So really, I think it helped us physically to get ready, to have that extra week off, but also mentally. We gave our guys last Friday and Saturday off, which is 2 days to get away. I think it's a great time to do it this time of season because now we have 4 weeks left, 4 games. Let's do everything we can to be focused on here. So I want them to get away, get fresh, and they were. They came back this week, renewed, a lot better energy, I think, this week, and ready to go.
How important was this week off for your running back specifically?
Yeah, I mean, it's Corey, takes a beating each and every week, but to have another break, let his body heal up. He feels fresh. He's hungry. Man, we got to give him an opportunity to carry that football. And I think, we get on the back of Corey, and we got a great chance of winning.
Arguably, these final 4 games of the regular season is the toughest stretch of the season for the Cincinnati team. Do you feel like you guys are prepared for that?
Well, I think in general, throughout the country, in November, it's tough. It's hard. Everybody's sore. Everybody's beat up. We talk about the strong shall reign. I mean, it really is going to show up in November. Obviously, we got a tough schedule in November, 4 really good teams. And, 2 on the road, 2 at home. I like where our guys are at. I mean, they do have good energy right now. And that's just going to be the teams, I think, that do the best in November are the teams that stay more focused, that are the toughest mentally. I think those are the teams that'll come out of November with the winning record.
What stands out about this West Virginia team on film?
Well, I think, number one, they want to run the football. They want to be a physical team that starts up front with them and their offensive line. They've been able to do that. One of the top rushing teams in the country. They dropped a couple of games in a few weeks ago. They came out, went to Arizona, played a team out in Arizona, won that game. It was a long, hard trip for them to win. I feel like they feel like, hey, backs against the wall a little bit. We're going to get their best shot.
How much are you using this game as to be bowl eligible as a motivating factor?
We've talked about it, but it's not something we focused on. We really just want to focus on the process, focus on the day-to-day. How can we get better today? And I think that will take care of itself on Saturday. We all know what's at stake. It's kind of in the back of our minds, and that's what we want, and that's a goal we want. You got to focus on beating West Virginia, and I think the rest of it will take care of itself.
What do you need to see out of your players to make sure that you walk away with a win against West Virginia?
Well, I mean, we say this every week, but I mean, the turnover margin will be critical this game. I think West Virginia is a very, very solid football team. I think very similar to us, quite honestly. So the little things are going to matter, but turnover margin will be a big factor in this game. And then also, who can win the rushing battle? Can we stop their run? Can we run the football? I think that's going to be critical as well. And then we got to score touchdowns, I think, when we get down in the red zone. I mean, I think that's going to be big. I think they're a good red zone defense, but once we get down there, we got to punch it across the line.
Coach, thanks so much. Appreciate the time.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
The Cincinnati Bearcats men's basketball team is coming in with all the hype this season, and they started it off with a win on tip-off Monday against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Relive the highlights from Fifth Third Arena coming up on Bearcats All Access. The 2024-25 college basketball season tipped off on Monday for the Cincinnati Bearcats. UC coming in ranked at the top 25, 20th in the nation, entering a season ranked for the first time in 7 seasons. The highly anticipated year started off against University of Arkansas Pine Bluff at Fifth Third Arena. Cincinnati taking care of business, winning 109-54. Let's relive all the highlights from the Bearcats' first victory of the year.
James. Extra pass, Hickman. His first bucket is a Bearcat. Wes Miller.
This team's going to execute. Last year in the SWAC, they were #1 in three-point percentage, #1 in scoring as well.
Lukosius fights through traffic and lays it in for the first Bearcats points. That time it's poked away by Lukosius, 2-on-2.
Nice pass.
Mitchell! Clear the runway for Dylan Mitchell.
I saw that one open up as soon as I saw the late run.
Slipped down to Bandego. Let's see open again. Second time's the charm for the freshman.
He hits those shots. He won't ball fake at the three-point line to move the defense.
Cincinnati will try for one last shot. Jizzle James.
I wasn't pleased in the first half. I was much more pleased with the focus and effort in the second half. I thought we defended the ball screen in the second half so much better, where it was really frustrating there for a little bit, which was frustrating because we spent a lot of time on it. But I thought they made the adjustment, and I liked some of the effort plays, and that's what it's got to be about here, guys. I mean, I love coaching here because this is a place when you get a dunk, they love it. But you dive on the floor with 3 or 4 guys, this place goes bananas.
Abdul Adu played for the Cincinnati Bearcats men's basketball team in the 2021-22 season. He started 32 games for then first-year head coach Wes Miller. The following season, Adu came back as a graduate assistant, giving him his first taste of off-the-court basketball operations. A taste is turning into a career. Abdul Adu accepted a job with the Phoenix Suns as a video and player development assistant. Let's hear from Abdul Adu on his first taste of his job in the NBA.
The guy who works there, my resume came across his table. Phoenix Suns actually called me. Prior to that, I submitted my resume to like a bunch of different teams. I was just waiting on phone calls, but the Suns ended up calling me first, so I just went with it. So we'll be doing video, scouting, and also player development. As a player, when you stop playing, you want to go to the NBA. And then when the NBA didn't happen as a player, for me, I always wanted to make it to the pros, just to have an experience of what the pro is like. Everybody get excited that they want to play basketball, but I think everybody's route is different. You can make it to the pros just being a coach or a front office guy, so it don't always have to be as a basketball player. You get to work with NBA players, all-star players every day, so that's exciting. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, to be honest. So going from a player to being part of the staff I had to figure out a way to adjust to not being a player anymore, The coaching staff did a great job with me, to be honest, Some days it was hard, especially just being far from home, and you have to be able to adjust to, let me not do too much, because I'm not the one everybody's trying, it's about the team, At this point now, I'm trying to help these guys get to that level where they can win a championship. For me, I've always, my motto is just one speed. It's either I'm doing it really good or I'm just not doing it at all. I truly believe I have confidence that it will make a run to the NCAA tournament this year and really stick there for a while. So I see nothing but progress for this team, I'm excited to watch them as well. Just because I feel like I've built a lot of relationship with some of the guys that are still here as well. So it kind of feels, it's like a bitter sad ending for me, but I'm always going to be tuned in, so I'm always going to call and just check up on them, so.
Coming up on Bearcats All Access, we sit down with linebacker Jake Golday as he tells us how it wasn't football that most prepared him for the game. How would you describe your transition here to Cincinnati?
It's been pretty amazing, to be honest. As soon as I entered the transfer portal, I got hit up by multiple coaches from here. I fell in love with it immediately, decided to commit. I think it was like 6 days later. I got in the position and I started practicing. It was a perfect position for me to succeed in this defense.
What was the selling point to bring you to a Cincinnati defense that was coming off a very unproven season?
So I think for me is the amount of talent they brought in already. I knew that they're looking to change the program around. Nobody wants to be a 3-8 team, I believe is what it was. I knew they were doing things to switch it around, and I wanted to be a part of that piece, one of the pieces to change and flip this program around to impact this defense. And also, we had Coach Veit come in with a new defensive plan, new defensive scheme, and I thought I fit his plan perfectly.
If you guys pull off the win against West Virginia, you'll have already doubled last season's wins. I know you weren't here last year, but this locker room, is there a cohesiveness to it that you can feel?
Oh, 100%. I heard last year there's not a very good locker room presence, and this year I think we're all band together and brothers fighting for our common goal. And I think not only are we looking to win this game, but we're looking to win out the rest of the year.
Football player, mom and dad, college basketball players, brother college basketball players. Are you like the ugly duckling? What happened?
So I don't know. I enjoyed playing basketball all the way up, and I could have played probably Division II basketball somewhere. But ultimately, my senior year in basketball, I decided to just focus on football so I could see where I could get to, so I could go get my school paid for at hopefully a Division I level. And it ended up paying off for me. I love the game of football. I love everything about it.
This defense you mentioned with Coach Veit that you fit in well. What is your relationship like with Coach Veit?
Me and Coach Veit have a great relationship. I feel like he knows exactly like what my goals are, and I know exactly what he wants from the defense. So I think that connection right there, we can help each other out. He put me in a great position at this outside linebacker spot. I get to work in a lot of space. I get to cover people in the pass game. Sometimes I'm rushing off the edge in the pass game, and then also I get to be in a great position to stop the run.
Playing at Cincinnati in a Power 4 conference, it's a step up from where you transferred from. Pro Football Focus has you ranked as the #1 linebacker in the Big 12, top 10 in the country. Did you expect that kind of success? You're coming to Cincinnati.
No, so, I mean, I expected to give it my all, and that's what I'm going to do regardless in everything that I do, is that I'm just going to give it 100%, keep my head down and keep going. I like to remain humble and all of that. Like, I'm not focused on that right now. I'm focused on getting the wins for the team, playing the best ball that I can possibly do to help the team succeed in the long run. Those individual statistics are great, but my main goal is to help us win games at the end of the day.
West Virginia, what's it going to take for your defense to walk away with a successful game and a win?
I think for the defense, our main goal is to defend the run. They've got 2 really good running backs and a great offensive line, and they have their entire offensive line back from last year. And I know that they rushed for a lot of yards on us last year. So I think the main goal this week is to be physical at the point of attack, be extremely violent, and to stop the run.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I really appreciate your time.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
The Cincinnati Bearcats baseball team released their schedule for the 2025 season last week. 25 home games at UC Baseball Stadium, 20 games against 2024 NCAA tournament teams. Announcing 56 games for one season, that's a tough job. So the Bearcats, they brought in some experts, students from Rosa Parks Elementary School in Middletown.
All right, 2025 schedule reveal, let's do it. That's Duke. Yeah, Duke. I got no idea who this is.
Hold on, bro, I got it.
Is it a cloud?
Looks like a meteor.
Couldn't tell you.
I got nothing.
Wait, let me see it. UNLV. Tritons. Triton?
I would have said Duke Blue Devils again.
UC San Diego.
I was gonna go there next. That was my next guess, actually.
That's gotta be
Looks like
Toledo,
a rocket.
right?
Toledo
yeah,
Rockets.
Rockets. Toledo. At home. Home opener. Who's there? Everybody. Good Lord, I don't know what that is.
You got the Golden Eagles.
I don't know. Philadelphia Eagles. Canisius. I can't do any of this stuff with you.
That's got to be Miami of Ohio right there.
Arizona Wildcats.
Like the balloons. That's a nice touch.
BYU.
Easy.
Louisville. Yeah, Louisville Cardinals.
UCF. It's got to be UCF.
Rainbow, Texas Tech.
Yeah, both T's, yeah.
White Fox.
It's a dog.
Wright State.
It's not Wright State, is it?
Rice. Oh yeah.
Let's go. On a roll. There's AZ State.
Arizona State. Yeah, Arizona State.
That's the Muskies.
Yeah.
Xavier. Who's this? Creighton.
Oklahoma State. It's a cowboy.
I don't think that's a cowboy at all.
Mountaineers, baby.
West Virginia, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Oklahoma State.
Hey, but look. They look similar.
Backwards.
Kansas Jayhawks.
Kansas.
Jayhawks.
That's good. I like that one.
Or Roberts.
Yeah. Roberts. Ooh, this one's good. That one's real good.
It's got to be TCU.
Yeah.
Indiana.
Hoosiers. Yeah.
Who the Hoosiers? Yeah, Kansas State. K-State. Big 12 tournament, baby.
Big 12 tournament.
Arlington, Texas. Get ready. Lock in. Big 12
big
tournament.
clubs.
See you in Arlington. Arlington, Texas. Bring your job.
From down under to the Queen City, Mason Fletcher, one of the best punters in the country. He's a Cincinnati Bearcat. He joins the show coming up.
Keys to Success, sponsored by Columbia Hyundai and Genesis of Montgomery.
From down under to the Queen City, Mason Fletcher, one of the best punters in the country, comes all the way from Melbourne, Australia to Cincinnati. He has already become a Bearcat great, one of the best punters decorated as such. 2022 AAC Special Teams Player of the Year, a Ray Guy Award finalist, a former All-American. Mason Fletcher does it all. And joining Fletcher on the Bearcats this year, his brother, former Arkansas punter Max Fletcher, giving the Bearcats probably the best 1-2 punter combination in the country. Mason Fletcher joins the show.
What makes Australians good punters is definitely just the fact that you guys grew up, throwing a football, throwing a baseball. Max and I was always having a kick in the backyard of a football. And my dad, Dustin, played 23 years in the Australian Football League for one team, the Essendon Bombers.
Dustin Fletcher, just the father of Mason and Max Fletcher, who are punters at the University of Cincinnati.
Earliest memories of watching him was probably being kind of 5 or 6, so Max would have been, 3 or 4. And
just seeing him do what he does was really special, and just knowing that he did it for such a long time really inspired me to do what I want to do. So
grew up idolizing him. We wore a red and black jersey with 31 on, and that's why I wear 31 now, and why Max will be wearing 31 next year, and we always wanted to be him.
And he went into the program with Pro Kick. He was just, he was straight into it. Loved the program. And once Mason put his mind to it, it was just, heads down and concentrated. And lucky enough, as I said before, to get Cincinnati and the Bearcats. And he was just raring to go to get over here as quick as he could.
My first ever game was against Miami, Ohio. Just remember being super nervous. It was super loud. That was the start of the 2021 year, and we're coming off a Peach Bowl, so we knew we were probably going to be a good team. So, the crowd was really loud, and I remember it was just deafening. And I just remember my first punt, just thinking, just get it off and just kick it, and then, absolutely loved it ever since.
Yeah, I remember it was just me and my dad going on the field, and obviously it was COVID, so no one, was out, so it would just be me and him going out to the field.
I spent a lot of time with Max just throwing him balls, and he just continued punt.
Going out there with him and having those moments, to prepare me for the moments now, and that was really enjoyable moments in different times.
When he saw how much fun and how exciting it was for Mason, that
I thought, how cool would that be to do? And I obviously saw him play his freshman year. I thought it was really special and something that we both wanted to kind of try. And obviously I saw him do it, and then I joined Pro Kick Australia.
Once his chance came, he was on that flight, ready to go over to Arkansas at the time. Because it was very tough through COVID. Now restrictions were quite different to yours and a lot harsher in some respects. So we didn't see him for that period of time, which was tough.
Yeah, that Arkansas game was a big one for me, and stands out for me in terms of right up there with the championship win against Houston, and then playing in the Cotton Bowl. For me, it was very full circle in the sense that we played in front of a huge stadium. Max and I both both started and both played. And
that was really special because I didn't tell Mason I was playing till I got out there and I met him. I saw him for the first time, so I thought that was pretty funny. But
we'd always grow up idolizing, my dad, and we got to grow up and watch him in big stadiums, and so it felt very full circle for him to be, for him and Mum to be there watching us play in front of
over 80,000. Just one of those moments where you can't believe that your kids are out in that field playing against each other.
I feel very blessed to have him so close now, and we live in the same apartment complex, and we play the game together and stuff, and we're not on a time difference anymore. And I don't know how it worked out, but it's worked out better than anyone could have written it out to be.
Some brothers don't get to do often, but being here with him has just been very special for me and for our family. So
I get a lot more enjoyment out of my sons, watching them play, and in a funny way, I've had my time, and that was great. But to look what they're doing at, on a big stage for Cincinnati and in college football, it's exciting, and my wife and I absolutely love it. And I get nervous as well, but you just got to, fingers crossed, and back your son in to take that moment and punt well.
That's all the time we have this week on Bearcats All Access. Cincinnati taking on West Virginia momentarily right here at Nippert Stadium. I'm Marshall Kramsky. Make sure to tune in to Bearcats All Access every Saturday morning, 11:30 a.m. on WCPO 9.